If you want to
Well,
read
of course
more
I want.
information. So
I'm a good American Spanish girl. Why wouldn't I want to know?
oh, you're a Spanish girl from
I'm
where?
a good American Spanish girl. Of
Me
course
too.
I want to know.
Me too. No, there are wonderful books. We have copies there. They are in English, and that's one of the problems. This has been known in Spain forever. The help that Spain gave to the colonies, the 13 colonies.
Oh wow.
From 1775, before the Declaration of Independence, Spain was already giving arms and food and clothing secretly to George Washington and the 13 colonies. And then Spain didn't want to join the U.S. openly because that would create a war in Europe, because Spain, France, and England, they have been in another war. So anyway, Spain in 1776, when the Declaration of Independence, Spain already had agreed with France that they were going to help the colonies, but Spain wanted to keep it secret, and it was so secret that people don't even talk about that.
Wow.
But there's so much information that we'll show you later in the books if you're interested in looking for that.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the real problems, that if you go to the library, San Diego County Library, you won't find them.
Yeah,
If you go anything to the colleges, they don't find it. You have to really buy them, and sometimes you have to buy them. It'll take 6 weeks for you to get the book,
Wow.
which is a terrible. It's just so anyway. That's what we're celebrating, because we're very proud of being able to help the independence of the United
We
States.
didn't know this information.
Most people don't. That's
I'll
why.
ask my mother,
Well,
who's my Spanish lady, if she really knows this, because this is interesting. My father's a historian, and I've never heard this.
I have, yeah. That's one of the main big things. Historians, professors at colleges, they come here and say, "Oh, why didn't I know this?" Or they kind of look at me and say, "Oh, I never heard about that." Like, where do you come up with this? I said, well, you can read these books. Or as a matter of fact, we have a flyer here. If you're not coming back later, the first 2 books here, that you have the ISBN and everything, the number that you can buy, and I can show you the books in there.
Excellent.
It's just amazing. So,
Excellent.
so thank you for stopping by, and I hope you can come back and you'll see. Also, did you know that the first American dollar was Spanish coin?
The Spanish coin?
The first American dollar.
Now that I think I've heard.
This
There it is,
dollar.
boys.
And we have the half a
Look,
dollar,
son, look,
the
Blake.
quarter,
Look, Bennett.
and the 8 piece.
Oh wow.
And,
Look,
and,
son.
and you ever heard about the 2 piece? That's where it comes from. 2 piece makes a quarter.
Oh wow.
Wow.
And a lot of people think this is from England, but it was Spain. And this was used
Son,
until,
look at Bennett. What a gorgeous, gorgeous coin that is.
and it used to be either in gold or silver.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
So we have also more info if you guys are interested.
We're interested. That's why we came. We love it.
But
we want to let
we're
you
not
open
set up
first.
yet. Come back later when we're
Yeah,
set
we
up.
want to let you
We'll
open,
enjoy
but
it.
we sure appreciate your time, and we'll see you
Well,
soon.
Thank you. Come back.
Right, Blake? Right, Bennett? Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Welcome to the House of Spain. Today is July 4th, 2013, and the House of Spain is very proud of the helping the colonies to get independence from England. So the House of Spain in San Diego is open to teach the history of Spain. Most people in the United States are not aware that Spain was a major helper in the revolution, and because they kept it secret. And there are wonderful stories from 1775, 1 year before the Declaration of Independence, that Spain was already giving ammunition and clothes and food to the American Revolution. And before July 4, 1776, Spain and France agreed that they would help the colonies to defeat England to become an independent country. So today, here in the House of Spain, with the help of the Sons of the American Revolution and the Children of the American Revolution, we have an open house from 12 to 4, so you can get some of the history that most people don't know in the US. There are 3 wonderful books that you can get, because I went to the San Diego County Library and they do not have these books, so you won't be able to check it out. Most universities and colleges, they don't have it either, but you can buy them through the internet and through the main libraries, through the main bookstores, and you will learn the history of Spain. What was happening during the American Revolution in Spain, what was happening in France, and what was happening in the Americas, and why Spain wanted to keep the help to the colonies a secret. So this is a wonderful book that it tells you about that. Then there is a second book, which is Bernardo de Galvez. This is was the governor of Louisiana, and he was helping the American Revolution through the Mississippi River, defeating the British in Pensacola, Mobile, Baton Rouge, and many other fortifications that the British had. So this is an amazing book, and at the end you will also find out that George Washington didn't have money to pay for his troops, so Bernardo de Galvez loaned him $500,000 to pay the troops. And finally, the last one is this book about Spanish pioneer, which tells you about all the different exploration that Spain had before the American Revolution. And you will find out that there were 107 years between the discovery of Florida in 1513 by Juan Ponce de Leon and the 1620, which is when the Mayflower Pilgrims came to America. So during that 107 years, Spain already had discovered or mapped the Floridas, Louisiana, Texas, Kansas, Arkansas, California, New Mexico, Arizona. So all of these places, which is today the United States, were already explored by the pioneers from Spain. So come in, enjoy, and celebrate the 4th of July. So yes, Columbus discovered the continent, the new continent, because there's always all kind of theories and maybe facts too that they discovered, but they never opened up to the world. So Columbus was the first one that Spain, the Queen of Spain, and that would be very nice for women, because it wasn't the King of Spain that agreed for Christopher Columbus to come here. It was the Queen of Spain, Isabella, that invested. So women should take a lot of pride in knowing that the Queen did it. So Columbus in 1492 discovered the American continent, and in 1513 the first Spaniards, so he discovered Florida, and then it was 107 years before the Pilgrims came to the United States.
So Florida was technically the first territory or state that was actually colonized, or so to speak, from
Spain. Yes.
Okay.
And I don't know if you have been in Florida, but there's a city called St. Augustine in Florida. Well, that's the first city in the United States, and that was built 55 years before the Pilgrims, the Mayflower came. And people don't know that, but the St. Augustine in Florida was founded 55 years before that. And New Mexico was 22 years before the Pilgrims came. New Mexico was also founded by the Spaniards. So there is so much history before the pilgrims, but it seems that in the U.S. the history starts with the pilgrims, and they forget everything
Yeah,
else.
that's what they want to say. That's official, but that's not true. History starts when who came there first, no matter who.
And the thing is that the other thing is the American independence. Like I mentioned to other people, that without the help of Spain, the 13 colonies would not have been able to get independence, because Spain was doing this secretly with guns, with gunpowder, with clothes, with food. It was really amazing.
Yeah,
and there are some wonderful books. I don't know if you are into books, but this book, which you cannot find in the San Diego Library, you will have to buy it because they don't show it.
Of course.
And this other book by Bernardo de Galvez, this guy gave money to George Washington for his troops to fight because he didn't have money. So George Washington was asking for money secretly to pay his troops.
Yeah,
to
we
Spain.
couldn't do it on our own.
So these are wonderful, wonderful books. And the one that we're talking about before, about the Spanish explorer, this is about Florida and all the Americas.
Now I want to go to see this. I want to go there now. I want to see it.
You will see the only fort built by the Spaniards, and
That's
it's in
still
wonderful shape.
standing.
Oh yeah. They have,
You
it's
can actually
beautiful.
tour it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, that would be so
They have costumes from the time, and they have soldiers walking around and taking care of
We
it.
gotta make sure. That sounds so cool.
It is cool. It is cool.
Oh my
Well,
gosh,
thank you for dropping by.
Oh, I love this. So awesome.
Okay. You want to help me with one of the? Take these two over there. If we need more, we can bring out more.
Yeah, I think it's upstairs. This is us right here, right? If Paula Joe's grandson comes,
Where did I look at? There it is. There.
okay, I got you.
He been in Spain until Mexico got independent. Oh, thank you. Yes, yeah, I saw you. And a lot of Americans are not aware that Spain helped the American Revolution. And without Spain, they have not been independent from England. So we have all kinds of posters, we have books that tells you how much help Spain gave the colonies. Even George Washington didn't have money to pay his troops, and Bernardo de Galvez gave him $500,000 so they would fight in the Battle of York. So a lot of history. So we're very proud of being from Spain and helping the colonies.
About 3 weeks.
All right. Which area?
Well, we started in Bilbao, went down through, went over to San Sebastian and over to St. Jean-de-Luz in France.
Yeah.
But then came back down to Madrid, Toledo, Sevilla.
I am from Toledo. The city that you guys visit.
Very, very old ancient city.
Yes.
Wall City, and the whole city is a monument, as you saw. The cathedral, and the Jews, the Muslims,
Yes.
the Christians. I mean,
We
that city was, I mean, working wonderful before they decided to get, you know, to let the...
Back in the 700s and 800s.
Yes. No, up to the 1400s. Up to the 1400s.
Up until Isabella.
Exactly.
Ferdinand.
Yeah, they united Spain and they said, no, it's going to be Christian, so... And if you're not Christian, then you're not going to stay here.
That's right. Yeah, we had
Well, she is an Avila. So, I mean, just outside of Madrid is where we're from.
Yeah, Avila is very... As a matter of fact, there used to be a military academy there, and a lot of the people that came to the Americas, they were taught in Avila. Yes, it's another walled city.
So we weren't, it's what, maybe 60 minutes outside of Madrid by train?
Yes, yes. An
We
hour
just
and a half.
yeah, we just couldn't find time
really cramped schedule.
to get over there.
That's another good reason to go back.
That's right. Well, there are parts that we didn't get into any of the Catalonian.
Yes. But
regions.
Barcelona is very nice too. And if you go, I mean, you were in the Basque country.
Yes.
But
And
if you go
we'd
to
go
Catalonia-
back. We'd go back in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and if you go also to the Galicia, which is the other side of the Basque country, they're beautiful there. Every area is quite different. That's. I mean, we have so
Coming
much.
down through the center of Spain, south
Yes.
of Madrid, it's just like driving through the San Joaquin Valley.
bases,
Yeah.
naval base
The
point
crops, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of
everything.
wineries and crops.
It's-
and
Well, with the
And that's
nuts
where
and
we-
almonds and
yes, yeah.
cotton.
Yeah, that area
Lots
is
of crops.
So was Juan
So much
Carrillo
like
from
California.
Spain?
very productive. Yes.
The Imperial Monument?
You want to go back?
Well,
There are
just all you have to do
We
is to make time for it.
actually learned about a lot of United States history by going to Spain.
Oh, absolutely, and that's one of the things that most people don't know. I mean, there are.
the other.
I don't know if you saw the paper this morning. Are you from San Diego?
No, we're Fresno.
But
Just flew in this morning.
But the paper, San Diego Union in San Diego, Americans could use U.S. history lesson.
Yes.
They don't know how much Hispanics helped the United States.
Is that today's
And-
paper?
Yeah, this is today's
We'll have to
paper.
get that.
We'll get it.
But it doesn't talk about Hispanics or anything. They just talk about, you know, the revolution. But there is this book, if you ever have time to read
Oh,
it,
Spain.
and it's amazing how much history, why Spain kept it a secret to help the colonies, because they didn't want to create all kind of wars in Europe. And then this other book, the Bernardo de Galvez, he was the governor of Louisiana, and he was helping through the Mississippi the American Revolution with food, with guns, with powder, everything. I mean, they're wonderful, but people don't read this history.
Well, you have to understand also how disliked
By House of Spain every month.
the English were
Oh, absolutely. By the French and by the Spaniards, yes.
by the
yes.
Spaniards.
And then
And
July.
so, you know, the
Fourth of July.
And that
the
was
enemy of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's what we heard throughout Spain.
And that's why Spain and
To this
England
day.
and France, they always were a fight with the English. So when the Americans decided to become a different country and declared, you know, the July 4th, the independence, the Spain and France said, "Oh, we're going to help you because we don't like the English."
That's right.
So it's history, but
It's history.
Well, it was for the same reason the Portuguese and the English have a strong relationship.
right, exactly. And they were the only two countries in Europe, really, the British and the Portuguese, that they united against the rest of the European. Yes.
However, today, I
Yeah.
think Spain, Portugal would like to be independent.
Well, no, it's
No,
you're
Well,
talking
they
about
are. They are
Gibraltar. You're talking about
independent.
Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, yeah, Gibraltar.
You're talking about Gibraltar.
Yeah,
So,
interesting.
yeah, history, but we
They
have
can
to
keep
learn more.
They can keep Gibraltar.
But you know, in this book really comes down to that. Spain was using Gibraltar as a gimmick to get the British around Europe not to come to help to the colonies, because they would lose Gibraltar and they wanted Gibraltar at any cost. So Spain used that, so they have to keep troops in Europe, and then Spain was sending all kind of supplies to the colonies, and Gibraltar is the key. That they didn't want to lose that, and American independence is part of that.
Which they don't understand why everybody want to keep it.
Well, it was a strategic point, very small. But have you guys been there? That's a nice place
Yes.
to go and see. Yeah, it's very small, but it's in a good location.
First, second.
We found that we were separated at birth by this guy and I. We both like to take videos and pictures. At first I thought he was an exhibit. He looked so exotic, but he seems like one of us. Nice to meet you. Tell me when you're ready. Hi, yes, I'm Mr. Hepshalom. This is my son Goofy, and we are originally from Iran, but we took our guns and we came to America. We had to fight the Ayatollahs in Iran and escape. Yes, you could see these are muskets. We won the Revolutionary War with this. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know how. Oh, I just killed somebody. I just killed somebody. But again, we're having a great time in San Diego. We're going to take a lot of memories back to Iran with us and Great Neck, New York. Again, God be with you. It's a pleasure seeing you. Happy 4th of July. Independence from England.
Es más bonito, que también luego van a la playa con demasiadas personas.
Tal vez.
Sí.
Pero sí hay mucha gente.
Sí. Y estaba hablando con mi hija y un amigo suyo esta mañana y dicen que todos
Está
los
lleno.
lugares cerca del agua están así de todo.
Sí, así es.
Así que está aquí mejor en el parque.
Sí.
Pues es Sofía.
No le entiendo muy bien a la firma, pero
Sí, Juan Carlos y Sofía.
Instead of minting some more pieces, they just cut.
Sí, sí, ella es para YouTube. Y yo les digo a mis sobrinos que nos busquen en YouTube.
And it comes down here, it goes across northern Spain here. It goes down to Burgos. So they get sort of off the coast here. To Burgos, they go over here. Leon is the next big stop. Yes. From Leon. And then they go up here to Santiago de Compostela. Right here is the end of the route, which is the pilgrimage of St. James. You know, Santiago is St. James.
600 on Sunday. So we had between 900 and 1,000 people come through last year.
I think we were among them.
So we're hoping to have as many this year. This is your first time, isn't it?
No, we were here last year.
Were you here last year? Okay.
you're done if you want to return them, if you don't want to keep them. And they did. They brought them back and gave them back. That's much better. Oh, yeah.
Somebody know this area quite well up here, so to see that would be, I'm going to rent it now.
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Thank you.
there is another movie that is about this region of Spain, about Asturias, that the name, it's a Spanish movie, the name is Volver a Empezar. It's said because
Starting all over again.
Yeah, because there is a movie that is called Volver, but that is Almodóvar movie. That's not it. This is Volver a Empezar, and it's about a person that immigrates to South America, I think, and returns, you know, and but he returns on vacation, but he gets back to with an old girlfriend that he had when he was young, you know, and so forth. Very good movie because he shows the whole area of Asturias.
The landscape is so
Yeah,
beautiful.
because it's really interesting that we had gone to see all that area, and then we saw the movie, you know, and we thought, oh, look, that's where we were. Oh, that's where we were, you know.
Really,
It's so beautiful. Have you been to Spain?
No, but that's
Could I
first on
recommend
my
that
list.
you plan a trip to Spain and for sure go up here because this is so beautiful.
You are? And your name is?
Steve Milhouse. Steve Milhouse. I'm up in Keller.
Oh, okay. You're down here for the weekend?
Yeah. Mom and Dad live down here, so.
Did you know about this? This is our third year.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Could we get this little fella to turn around? That would make a beautiful picture. Once more. Those things.
Take pictures of the people taking pictures. I like that. I'm a different word, I don't know.
Thank you.
I can stand up, or a little higher.
Well, Spain helped, Spain and France together helped the colonies win the American Revolution, and they were cutting from kings, and they had a family compact that they would help each other. And in San Diego,
Indian, Spanish.
there was a Presidio, and there were 3 other Presidios at the time in California. And the king asked all the soldiers to make a voluntary contribution of 2 pesos to help the war. And so we dedicated a plaque at the Presidio Park. Have you been there?
No.
Do you know where it is at all? In Mission Valley?
Okay.
You live here?
Yeah, in Oceanside, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Well, when you come down into Mission Valley and turn east, you'll see a big building that a lot of people think is a mission, but it's actually a library. And that is the site.
4th grade? 5th grade grandfather.
5th grade grandfather was the commandant of the San Diego Presidio during the American Revolution.
Wow.
Part of it.
Yeah.
He started off here in 1773 to 78. Then he went to Laredo, Baja, was commander there. In 1781, he came up here with the founders of Los Angeles with other soldiers. In 82 to 84, at that point in time, the revolution was over. He was commander in Santa Barbara, the first commander.
Wow.
Por la independencia de Estados Unidos, que no lo enseñan en América. Los americanos no lo enseñan. Así que esto es demostrar que sin España y los españoles, los hispanos, los Estados Unidos no se hubieran independizado de Inglaterra. Aquí tenemos esto de la Casa de España, si ustedes quieren, de diferentes fiestas que hacemos durante el año y de la historia. También hay historia de España, que es todo aquí en California. Todo esto es primero español, después mexicano y ahora americano. Así que pasen, vean y pregunten. Oh, muchas gracias.
Sí. Hola. Hola.
Yeah. Very nice.
They are beautiful. We're so proud of them. Yes.
Got the bookmark. Yeah. Now you can see you read. Just because you got a bookmark doesn't mean you read.
This is for you.
Because it's so hot that you don't want to be outside still. Well, that's wonderful that you're going to visit for your anniversary.
Salud.
Oh, and that gun's pointing right at my head. She's a gun lover, I can tell.
It's too heavy.
Is it really?
It's not that heavy.
Oh my God. So were these actually?
That was a light one.
What's the history of these goods? I mean, I don't want to point at anyone.
But you can cock it and go ahead and act like you shoot, but just don't point it at the same time. At anybody.
It's safe,
Okay, right now it's safe. It's not loaded. It hasn't been loaded for a few years.
Okay.
And it won't be loaded for the next few years. Like sometimes you
Sure.
civilian wise, you have to have a special license to be able to have it for automatic equipment. And the background checks and all stuff. And right now, a lot of areas are not going to go with guns.
I knew my history classes were bad, but this one's
And this is one about the pioneers in general. This is older, but they talk about all the pioneers through the U.S. and also Central America and South America. 107 years between the discovery of Florida in 1513 by Juan Ponce de Leon and the 1620, which is when the Mayflower Pilgrims came to America. So during that 107 years, Spain already had discovered or mapped the Floridas, Louisiana, Texas, Kansas, Arkansas, California, New Mexico, Arizona. So all of these places, which is today the United States, were already explored by the pioneers from Spain. So come in, enjoy, and celebrate the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July.